What is going on, people? We are back in action, and today we're at Arthur Fisher with a brand new disc, and that disc is going to be the Innova Star Racer. This thing just released just a few days ago, I believe. 12.6 -1.2. Innova is basically calling this a beat-in destroyer, making it ideal for those with max distance under 450 feet, which is this guy. While they say it flies like a beat-in destroyer, it definitely does not feel like one. This thing has a bit of a nose bead, which I typically don't really enjoy, not very comfortable in my hand. But if this thing flies nice for us today, then maybe I can get over it. Basically, I'm gonna give this thing a whirl for 9 holes, use it as my primary distance driver, see what type of flights we get out of it, if we like it, if we don't like it, and then in a future video, I'll probably start comparing it to some other discs. So here we go, hole 1, 525 feet. It's gonna be a par 4, and it is way down there. If it's a beat-in destroyer, maybe throw it on a little bit of hyzer, see if it flips up, I'm not sure. First throw ever with it. Pretty nice glidey flight there on hyzer. Didn't get it all the way to flat, but it rode nicely for the first shot. I definitely did not throw that very hard. Hole 1's gonna bless us with a backhand and a forehand right off the bat. A bit of a low ceiling, keep it low driven. It's not very far. Big skip. Okay, so hole 1, not too bad. Hopefully on hole 2, we can give it a little bit more power, see if we can get it to actually flip up to flat. I was watching some videos and they were getting some nice turn out of it. That's what I'm hoping for. Let me know down in the comments if you've already tried the racer out and if you like it or you don't like it and why. Hole 2 is gonna be a 530-foot par 4. It's kind of fun just because you can rip one out into this open field. You do have OB long grass on the right, and then if you could throw it far enough, you might find the woods out in the middle there, but we can't throw that far. You know, I felt like that was a bit flatter. And honestly, I feel like that flew a good ways, but we still didn't get the turn out of it. So even though they want it to be a beat-in destroyer, I still might be too weak. This sets us up perfectly for a little jawbreaker zone into the basket. If you've seen my channel before, you've seen me play here before. And hole 3, when it's in the long position, it's just a play for par type of hole. 410 feet, slightly uphill, dogleg left. Big hyzer shot really if you got the power. We do not have the power. That's gonna be perfect. Maybe we can give it like a little forehand bid. Truthfully, I'm kind of liking the racer so far. Even though I'm not getting that turn out of it, it's kind of a straight to stable disc for me. But with that being said, I feel like it's still kind of pushing a far way, maybe because of that 6 glide. It stays in the air and it's not dumping too fast. Try to give it a bid. Pretty close. If you guys watched my practice round, which I'll be honest wasn't a lot of you, but if you did watch it, wondering how me and Kevin did in the Bring Your Own Partner tournament, we ended up in a tie for 4th place, I believe. Only 2 strokes off the lead. We shot a 20 under. There's a lot of people at 20 under, and the winner was at 22 under. So overall, it was a pretty successful tournament. Me and Kevin, both rounds felt like we didn't play the best that we could have. Missed some putts, but we were still in contention to win it there at the end, just 2 strokes behind. Hole 4 is coming in at 465 feet. It does play as a par 4 in this position. I'm gonna try to go right up the middle with a forehand, see if we can hyzer flip the forehand or not. Hopefully we can. Nope, that really hurt too. I threw a lot of forehands the other day, and so I have a blister forming because I hadn't been throwing that many forehands, and that just tore it apart. That didn't feel good. Typically this would be a pretty easy par 4, I would say, but if you do something like this, definitely makes it a bit trickier. I only brought a zone and a putter, and I think that's gonna be too far. So we're gonna have to throw the racer again, see if we can get a little touchy with it to leave it close to the basket. Not enough ante, but it might give me a putt. Yeah, it's a long one. There we go. Made it happen anyway. That was a good putt. If Kevin's watching this, he's gonna be a little disappointed because I did not putt like that in the tournament. Hole 5, we're looking at another par 4, 485 feet, OB road and beyond on the right side, and it is free on the left. See if I can get this thing out as flat as possible, get the most distance out of it, make this par 4 easy. If it misses that tree, oh yeah. I'm throwing it very well. I'm still getting it out on a little bit of hyzer, which is unfortunate, but that is my miss always. Prime position to try to give this a run for eagle. I like the little forehand putter bids. It's typically what I'm best at. Get it. Drop. Drop. Oh, too far. Too much Annie. That's all right. Easy birdie. Almost not easy enough though. Snuck it in over the basket, but that was a pretty poor putt. Course holes 6 and 7 are a bit wimpy, especially for a distance driver like this. So we actually are gonna skip over to 8 and play it as hole 6 for us. This is gonna be another par 4, 475 feet. Really off the tee, you're just trying to bend this corner right. Once you get up there, it's a pretty typical up and down. I am gonna try the forehand one more time, just because that's my play on this hole. I could go over the top with a backhand, but you know what? We'll risk it for the biscuit. This is probably gonna hurt. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna be in bounds. That's awfully close. I cut that very inside. We are more than in, which is a little surprising. I thought this was gonna be cut a little bit more inside, but we're probably 25 feet off the OB. Should be a pretty simple jawbreaker zone here. Sit down. Little deep, but that's fine. So as you can see, that is the next tee pad, but I just brought it back a bit further so that we could throw a driver here. I don't necessarily know how far this is, but it looks like driver distance. Oh, is it gonna be enough? It definitely stays in the air for a while. That was thrown very low and it kept on going. For me at least, no signs of flip up, no signs of turn. Pretty standard, stable disc here, like I've said. From the videos I watched, I definitely thought I was gonna be able to flip it up, but honestly, it's flying very nicely without the flip up, so I guess it's fine. I started this video off saying I don't really like nose beads because they feel uncomfortable in my hand, but with the Racer, I'm hardly even noticing it. I don't know if that's because it's a bit of a wider rim, so it just fits in the hand a little bit better. I'm not sure, but it's not affecting me in any way. In fact, I don't even feel it when I'm throwing. I believe this is hole 8 for us. Par 4, 475 feet. You got a scary pond on the left, and then you do have OB right. I don't know if you can see that sidewalk up there, but sidewalk and beyond to the right is OB. Try to get over on it a little bit, just to push that right side more. But I ended up throwing it a bit nose up. The further back you are, the scarier the approach can be, just because of the water on the left and that OB on the right. This really is not good distance at all, but we should be able to get it done. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on with the geese, but I about just got attacked. I'm sure you can hear them all. There's like 100. And that's gonna bring us to our final hole of the day, of the video. Hole 9 for us, par 4, 675 feet. I'm really gonna try to put this on some anhyzer this time. I've yet to get any turn out of it. I have yet to get any flip up out of it. So it looks like, for me at least, I'm gonna have to put it on a little bit of flex to get some distance out of it. I can't say it's very far again, but we did put it on some Annie. So looking at this, I could try to go straight at it, but it's gonna be very low ceiling. I actually see a little bit more of a fun line that's a high Annie stall shot that hyzers back in that I'm gonna try to throw. This is probably the biggest risk of the day. It might not go very well, but it looks intriguing. Nope. No turn at all. That's so unfortunate, really. I probably should have known better that I don't have that shot, but it's at least fun to try. Oh, I blasted it. That might be a bogey. First one today. Oh. That's a bit unfortunate just because that's the only bogey that we're going to take today through 9 holes, obviously. We actually played some really solid golf today, though. We threw the racer very well. In fact, we threw it so well that I'm kind of intrigued to throw it in the bag and start throwing it a little bit more. I don't know if I actually will or not. I definitely think it flies kind of like my medium stability Zeus. I was a bit bummed that we couldn't get any turn out of it, but I do think it's more glidey than my Zeus's, which I felt like helped with some distance. It didn't bail out too hard on me. It was just a nice, straight, controllable distance driver that faded slightly. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.